All right, let's start with Emmanuel Glaze. Go ahead.
Hey, let's start with you, Nia. Talk about this West Coast trip, Seattle, Vegas, Los Angeles. What is the team mindset going into a trip like this and come out on the good side of a trip like this?
Yeah, we just have to take it one day at a time. Starting here in Seattle, making sure that we understand what our game plan is, what we need to do as a team, and make sure that we're very consistent with what we bring to each game.
And Eric, as far as with you coming back on the West Coast, being your home area, coming back, what does it mean to be on a trip like this, to be able to play on the West Coast and knowing what you guys are playing for on this trip?
It means a lot. Come back, play in front of my friends and family. But again, it's a business trip. We're here to go home with dubs, get better.
All right, let's go to Megan.
Hey, Ari. Hey, Nia. Wanted to, I guess, ask both of you this question. I've noticed a lot, the team has been a lot more active on defense, and I think that has to do with your vision, your ability to see things as they're unfolding on the court. Can you talk to me about, I guess, what do both of you do personally to kind of work on, hey, I need to have my vision executing at a high level?
For me, I would say a lot of watching and analyzing film, making sure I understand, well, what is our team defense, and then what could that possibly look like for our opponent, and then making sure that I understand our scheme so I can communicate on a timely manner.
Yeah, just alongside Mia, just making sure I know what the schemes are, and then if my post players are calling it, I'm making sure I'm trying to execute that when we're on the same page. And just watching film with VJ and just seeing, what we did in the previous games or what they did with their opponents in the other game.
Go ahead, Willie.
For either or both of you, with it's somewhat crunch time, and it's not a matter at this point of maybe looking up in the standings and chasing the top three, but more or less holding off who's chasing y'all so you can get a home game in the postseason. Is it hard to focus on the task at hand, but also sort of keep in perspective what's at stake? How do you go about doing that and sort of keeping the mental toughness and not getting caught up in the playoff race, if you will?
I think if we stay focused on what our goals are for that day, that's what really keeps us grounded and consistent. So making sure if we do our part, things will unfold the way it should.
Go ahead, Mark. Mark, you got us?
Yeah, sorry, it wouldn't let me unmute. First of all, good to see you guys. Nia, I wanted to ask you, I was talking to you the other day, and she mentioned calling you a guard, which I totally agree with, and just what your skill set is. It's kind of a random question, but how much do you feel your position has changed since you first got into the league? I know you played before at Northwestern, but especially with how the game spread out more, do you feel like that's something that you felt as the game's gone on?
When I first got to the league, I was told that I was too small to be the four, but now we've seen how the game has evolved, and now that four position is more versatile, fast, and dynamic, more guard-like skills. So when I first got to the league, I was working heavily on my guard skills, which, I mean, yes, I'm a guard, but right now I'm playing the four. So I don't think it really matters. I feel like I can go between the two. So right now, I just feel like my role is fulfilling that four need and just making sure that I can just make sure that my skills are good for either position.
And finally, Hunter.
Yeah, for Nia, what do you think makes Ari such an impactful defender, specifically what she can do at the point of attack and just provide value for you guys in that way?
It's just her energy and just her activity. It's very distracting, and that really helps too, because since she's defending that point guard position, they're supposed to be leading their team and getting to their spots and getting the ball to the right people at the right time in the right spaces. And she pushes people off of their mark. She slows people down. So it really junks up their offense. So her intensity and her activity is super important for our defense.
Thank you, everyone.